Hello everyone, and welcome back. Let's embark on a new journey with this video. And we have enrolled in a new course for generative AI under X engineers, where we are learning more about generative AI. I have been following this particular field since long. I have learned a lot of different things, creating agents, XYZ. But now we are going to take a structured approach, connecting with like minded people, and I'm excited about this course in itself. At the same time, I want to make sure that while I'm doing that course, I also share my learnings with you also that where I was few months back or whatever I have learned, I want that other people can take and learn from that as well. So let's get started. Today, let's start from the very basic and the scratch. Let's talk about what exactly generative AI is. We talk about or we hear about so many slangs or so many different type of words, LLM models, etc., etc., etc. Let's try to understand all these random gig words in this video in a very basic sense. So let's get started. Now let's start from a structure. For example, we hear AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, ML, deep learning, generative AI, and also artificial general intelligence. Now what exactly are these? So these are not different things. You don't need to try to learn like, okay, all these are different things and it's complicated. No, it's not complicated. It is very simple. It is artificial intelligence is the superset. It is the branch. It is like how physics is to science. It is a subject, right? Similar to computer. So similarly, in computer science there is a branch of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, within artificial intelligence we have machine learning, which is a specific goal, or you can say specific department within artificial intelligence. Under machine learning, with new technologies and new evolution, we have deep learning, which is a specific process within machine learning. Within deep learning we have generative AI, where it is a specific trained model. We will come to these names later on, but a specific model. And within generative AI will be artificial general intelligence. Artificial general intelligence, AGI, is something which can be considered very powerful, more powerful, which can kind of behave or think in a human kind of a structure. So that is where the overall goal, or how open AI and all these things are going, or in the direction where they are going. We do not have when it will reach or so, but we are moving very fast towards the AI revolution. So let's learn deeper about all these random words. Okay, so what exactly are these different, you can say, structure within artificial intelligence, or how do we understand this better? So I thought of a analogy that can help us understand these concepts or understand what exactly are these. So let's consider home science is something that is AI. So home science is like a branch. AI is similar to that. Machine learning is a subcategory within artificial intelligence. So let's consider cooking. Cooking is a subcategory under home science. Correct. Now let's assume that your mom, or when someone is cooking, so let's assume I am the chef and I'm cooking multiple dishes. I used to cook multiple dishes and I hire a new cook into my kitchen, okay, for my kitchen to assist me, let's say for now to assist. Now within this machine learning, which is cooking in this particular sense, we have a new person, or let's say the cook here in this case, who will try to learn what we are doing. So what we will do, we will do two things. While cooking, I will tell him what compartments are what, so that as time passes, he will understand that XYZ compartment has these ingredients, or these masala or whatever. Now, what exactly I'm doing? I'm doing a label data test, label data training. I have labeled him that okay, this is salt, this is spices, etc. These are different cereals, and I'm training the cook in this case with label data so that he understand and learns to. Next time, if I give him a something in my box, he will be able to tag it. What exactly it is? Is it a salt or a spice or something? So what I'm doing is I'm training my cook, but with the help of label data. Now this is one way of how machine learning models works. Now number two, let's talk about, I have asked him to just watch me make multiple dishes. Now what will happen is, as the day will pass, or if I provide him a lot of context about, or not providing directly, but I'm doing a lot of making a lot of dishes, he will learn or identify patterns from my way of working. This is where I have not provided him with a labeling, but I have provided with him patterns. For example, whenever I'm cooking, I'm doing this thing first, then I'm mixing oil and grinding and etc etc etc. So the more processes, or like he sees it, the more understanding of patterns he creates from the data, and that's how he will create more pattern from an unlabeled data. So that's how a machine learning, in this case a cook, is learning, where I am providing him with this resource or the data. Now this cook, after having gone through the training of how, either if I'm teaching him on labeling different kind of ingredients something, or learning about how cooking is done, this particular cook, after having trained with my data, will be called as models. So this is exactly what models mean. Or machine learning model, when you hear next, understand it is just a machine learning which is trained on a certain data. So they are good at result that was or you can say good at creating, or you can say identifying, or etc, whatever you have trained, or the end objective was, and was the data you have fed. So you have need to realize one thing very important: trash in, trash out, gold in, gold out. So the quality of data that you are training a model here is going to create the result that you're looking for. If you're training it the good lessons, good model, good cook, good cooking skills, then the cook will improve and create good dishes for you. So that's how it will work. Now if you see what exactly is happening with the cook, as a human, we have neural networks, we have neurons in our body, which which are interconnected with each other. Like they're passing electronic pulses to our brains. I'm speaking right now, doing xyz things, I'm learning. It all happens because of all these interactions. In machine learning also, there is a branch which is deep learning, that kind of creates a similar learning pattern. They create neural networks, interlink each other to learn more data, and that's how they learn. That's why they are called as deep learning, because they are trying to create a more detailed analysis of the data, which makes it more useful. Now let's assume, because I had a cook, he is a human, he has a limitation, but computer don't. Computer do not have a limited brain memory or brain capacity. We can store as many data as we want. Our hardware has improved significantly, that's a different conversation. But let's assume if this cook can store in almost a lot of data, and if I would have trained him, or you can say showed him the patterns on creating unlimited cuisines, a lot of cuisines, etc. Now that is, and I trained him in a way that he can deep learn those patterns. And if I ask him to create dishes, he probably can create new dishes by his own, based on his learning from the data that I've trained him, because I've trained him on a big chunk of data. And that exactly is generative AI. Generative AI is just a deep learning model which is trained on a very big data set. It gets entire internet resources, Wikipedia, entirety of Wikipedia, and a lot of data. Now if you see, because I've trained my cook for cooking, he can create or make dishes. Similarly, generative AI, when you talk about chat GPT, because it is trained on text, it understands text, it can give out text. So that's how this model has been trained. If I train someone for some other purpose, which is house cleaning or something, they will result in something else. So similar to this particular pattern, generative AI is generation, where the model, this model, the cook that I have created now, can create new or independent things without having to depend on anyone, because they have learned the process, the patterns. So it is very important for the quality of data. It can be labeled and unlabeled data I have trained him on. It can be mixed. So that's how it all works. So that's all, and that's simple it is. The entire cycle of AI, ML, deep learning, Gen AI is how the entire cycle works. So see you in the next video. I hope you have learned this concept well.